Let's go.
Yeah, I'll put my I'll record some audio as well, just in case, just off the.
Let me start recording.
Yeah, you can start and then we can just edit it out.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so basically we're here on the first episode of Art Collection Interviews, and I've got my cousin Reginald Thompson, the esteemed musician from Sierra Leone, who's a maestro in the sax, and he's also part of the band Freetown Uncut. So I just kind of want to get a bit into your early days and your stories, and just like have a dope interview.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start from the beginning. So what would you say were your first musical influences?
All right. First and foremost, thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, no worries, man.
So it started back in school. I used to have friends who were in the school choir and stuff. Like all of my friends were like basically like choristers in their churches. They were part of the choir, the school choir, everything that has to do with music in the school. Yeah, so I was, inspired and influenced by them a lot. Sometimes I follow them to rehearsals, to wherever they go, that's music.
Okay.
And so that's where it basically started, like in my early days in high school, and since then it has been an incurable disease.
The music, but
yeah.
Okay, what about the saxophone specifically? So how did you get into playing that, and like how old were you when you started playing?
Okay, I always wanted to play the saxophone, but I was not privileged. It was not available to me. So at the time, the only instrument that was available to me was the keyboard, the piano basically. And there was a time when I was invited by a friend of mine. He was in the music school, doing some music courses in the music school. By then we were still in high school, and so I was invited to one of their like lunchtime concerts, and I saw one of the teachers there like playing the saxophone. Like, oh man, I always wanted to play this. If I could only have an opportunity to do it. So so it started like 8 years ago.
Okay.
Yes. So since that time that I was in school I still did not get access to the saxophone until like 8 years ago.
Okay.
When someone gave me a used saxophone.
Okay.
Yes, and said, okay, I'm not using this. So that was when I took it up, and it was self-taught.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
Would you say, did you want to be a musician when you were younger, or was it something that kind of came later?
I think it came later in my high school, but of course I'm from a typical African setting, like music is not a thing. To be a musician or to be in entertainment is not like a thing. I mean, family will kick against it. Society frowns at it. They just think it's for losers and people who are basically not serious. But I mean, the drive came when towards my um, late high school, going to uni.
Okay. I
Yeah,
see.
that was when the drive came. Like, I really want to, but back home there is no music college,
Yeah.
and I would dare not tell my parents that I want to. Yeah, I mean, so I just kept it to myself and say, okay, I mean, the time will come when I will have my own way to do things.
Yeah.
I'll do things my own way.
Yeah.
So that was basically.
Okay, dude. And like, who would you say are like some people who pushed you towards your dreams when you were younger?
Okay, of course, some of the push came from church. By then, before I started playing the saxophone, like I said, I was playing the keyboard. So, and you know, one of the things I found out that like any instrument I lay my hands on, I mean, it's just click like
You
that.
click with it.
Yes, and and so the encouragement started from church. Like, okay, I think you've got something
Yeah.
that is waiting to come out, and also, of course, my friends, like, you know, and I always wanted to be like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were playing, they were like going to different places to perform,
Yeah.
and I always wanted that. Like, one of my dreams was to like be a touring musician.
Yeah.
I mean, to go different places, explore talents, share ideas, and see what happens.
No, that's good. So I
Yeah.
know later down the line you joined the band Freetown on Cut. So like, how did you guys kind of initially come together?
Okay. So I'm a founding member for Freetown on Court. It was, when we left, I was part of different bands then. So many bands in Freetown. So there was a time when um, me and the other guys in the band, we were like in different bands, but it was like all of us kind of shared a common passion. Like, okay, we want to start our own. I mean, we're tired of, it's not a bad thing working for people, but I think it's time to like
Your
do our
own
own
thing,
thing.
basically.
Yeah, and so because we all share that common passion, we decided to, okay, how about we start up something? And well, like there was nothing to start up with, so we met a guy we used to jam with. Of course, he's British, Tom Kynes, and then he said, okay, I'm up for it. Like, I can manage you guys for now. It's not something I'll do, forever, but for now, until you guys can stand on your own. So that was when it all started. So he gave us his sitting room, his living room, said, this can be your studio. And we started gathering instruments from different places and said, okay, you can be here and do whatever you want, just don't go to my bedroom. Yeah.
That's where I do my business.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's good.
Yeah.
And like, over the years, what would you say is like your standout or like favorite memory of touring with the guys?
Oh, it has been great. It has been great. It has been a wonderful experience. Like, I'll never forget. Because aside from the fact that we were just musicians, we are like a family. We share everything in common. There was a time when we used to sleep in the studio.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there was, I think in 2016, the whole of the December Christmas period, we were like basically having so many gigs.
Yeah.
So like taking the equipment to the gig, and after the gig, we come back to them with the studio. We are all just like, okay, you know what? Let's just pass the night here.
You were just knackered with.
Yeah. I mean, we just like pass the night. So we share that kind of bond, that kind of understanding. and the music was great. One of the reasons we decided to form the band because we just did not want to be like any other band. So back home, young people were not into live music.
Yeah.
Like there was this tradition that live music is for old people.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we want to change this narrative
Yeah.
for young people to appreciate live music and know that there's so much you can gain from it. There's so much you can enjoy from it, and also, the home-based artists back then, usually when they have their shows, they were doing like DJs. It was just like a playback kind of thing,
Okay.
and we said like, how about we switch it up a little bit? Like, how about let's do it in a live form. Probably if you're not too comfortable, we can do a band and a DJ combined.
Yeah.
So like we kind of break through with that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, so now of course young people appreciate live band music a lot.
Yeah.
And as a result of Rita Uncut, there are so many other young bands upcoming.
Yeah, that's good.
And so we kind of have that fulfillment that we like break that barrier and like set the pace for others to follow. So that's how it has been.
No, that's good.
Yeah, man.
And what would you say, for you personally, like what are some dream venues or a dream venue that you'd like to perform in one day?
Oh man, first and foremost, it's a lot. Of course, let me start with here in the UK. I think we spoke about it. One of the place, because I'm aspiring to be a professional jazz musician.
Yeah.
So basically, over the years, all I've played is Afrobeat, pop, a bit of jazz, but not too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think I need to have an identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm currently studying to be like, a jazz musician. So, a jazz saxophonist to be precise. Yes. So, one of the I think Ronnie Scott is one.
Scott,
Yeah. Of course, there's another place called the Montreal jazz place. I think it's in Switzerland.
Okay, well.
I think all this jazz legend go to the Montreal Jazz Festival. Yes. Also, of course, in Germany, like all over Europe, and of course America, and like all over the world. And one of my biggest goals is to, aside from being a touring musician, I would like to work for the IMC someday.
Okay.
Yes, that's the International Music Council.
Okay, good.
Yes, it's like an organ under the United Nations.
Okay, where they perform in different.
Well, it's like they basically regulate everything about music in the world.
Okay, I see. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
That's quite interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so aside from that, like, who are some people that you like to work with in the next year also, or just in your lifetime even, like?
Oh, okay.
Who do you say like the top three? Who do you say?
Oh, oh man, that's a hard question. I feel like I have 100 of top threes, but first and foremost, there's a guy called Michael Bracker.
Okay.
Yes, he's an amazing saxophone player.
Wow.
Amazing saxophone player. Of course, I would like to work with him someday.
Yeah.
And also, Bono Boy.
Oh yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
his lashes look crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I would love to like work with Bono Boy someday, and also, Alicia Keys.
Oh yeah, man, she's dope.
Yeah, man. I like Alicia so much, and I have a lot of people I would love to work with. But like basically, those are my
There's some of the selections.
yeah top three. Yeah, man.
Okay. So in terms of like, obviously you've been on a musical journey over the years, but what would you say has been like the most difficult thing that you've had to overcome specifically in music, and that you'd say like, on hindsight, looking back, that you're proud of doing that basically?
Well, it's a lot, especially from where I'm from. Of course, there are so many obstacles,
Yeah,
discouragements, and you may just want to like have a think that am I on the right track?
yeah,
What am I doing? Like, but one of the things that has kept me has been the passion. And like I said when we started, I said, you know, music has become an incurable disease in my life. Like I sleep with it, I wake with it. I mean, I just know that I always have this feeling. I mean, I know it's not wrong, but I always have this feeling that I'm going to be one of the pioneers to break through my country
yeah,
in the world, like in the music scene in the world.
yeah,
And so far, I know I'm on the right track.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the people I meet, the things I learn, the places I go, and I know it's just going to happen someday. I don't know how, I don't know when.
yeah. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, but I'm always consciously making deliberate efforts, working towards that path.
No, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's
man.
dope.
Yeah.
And I guess as well, like in closing, like um, in terms of helping like up and coming musicians, like what advice would you give?
Um, Quite a lot, but some of the few I think I've learned. The first is humility.
Yeah,
Like your image should not be bigger than your music
yeah,
or what you do as a musician, as an entertainer, as a film star. Always try to like be humble enough and you not to listen to the opinion of others, but respect the masters. I mean, they have walked those paths before you, and you know, and of course be diligent in what you do. I mean, as a musician, there is no way you can get to the top without you working hard and perfecting your craft. I mean, aspire to learn
yeah,
every day, like try to learn something new.
yeah.
Yeah, because the world is not waiting, man.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
I
so
agree with that.
yeah, so I mean, so you have to aspire to do more, aspire to learn, and also, I mean, have a good relationship with people. Because having a good relationship opens your network,
Yeah,
and by you can meet so many people that you know never existed,
yeah, no,
and
definitely.
it will amaze you how these connections or where these connections will take you. And you know, just have an open mind. That's it, basically. And like I said, crown it all, you have to, I mean, perfect your craft, man.
Yeah,
I mean, there are no two ways to it. You have to be diligent in what you do. You have to work hard and put all the hours, and you will see the difference.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I agree with that, man.
yeah.
But yeah, no. Well, with that, thanks, Reg, for coming on the first episode of Art Collection Interviews.
Yeah, man.
I think it's been a dope conversation, and hopefully some big things happen for you. Actually, no, big things will happen for you this
Yeah,
year.
man. Sure, man. Thanks. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no worries.